Hello and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions. I'm Ron Mackenzie Lafergie. Relations between the United States and Canada are relatively tense at the moment, largely due to the rather controversial decisions made in recent months. While there is normally a feeling of brotherly love between the two countries, fears of the possibility of war are not uncommon, even if they are fairly unwarranted. It's highly unlikely that the US and Canada would attack one another, and even less likely that Canada would be the aggressor. But what if Canada decided to stop being Mr. Nice Guy? Let's find out. It's time to answer the question, what if Canada invaded America? Well, first things first. In terms of sheer military might, the United States has an enormous advantage, to the point where Canada would have essentially no chance at success. America has almost 40 times the military budget of Canada, and it really shows. With nearly 1.4 million active military personnel to Canada's 79,000, the US would have a significant advantage in terms of experienced personnel. The US also has significantly more military technology and vehicles, from aircraft to sea vessels. Really, in pretty much any metric you can measure, America has a huge advantage. The bottom line is, in a vacuum, the United States would wipe the floor with Canada. But the world is not a vacuum, and the two countries have a number of allies that could make this much more complicated. The United States and Canada are both members of the United Nations. This means that an unprovoked attack from Canada would be met with retribution not only from the US, which would likely be sufficient, but from other allied countries as well. So even if Canada was able to successfully neutralize the United States, which is unlikely to the point of being fiction, the US would soon be aided by allied countries. Unless America did something so evil that they lost the support of the United Nations, Canada would likely be significantly outnumbered. But would Canada have help from other countries as well? Some believe that it would. America has rather tense relations with a number of countries, including Russia and China. It may be that these two superpowers would jump at the opportunity to finish off the ever-dominant United States. This would kick off a third world war, bringing with it a whole lot of extra uncertainty, and potentially the end of the world as we know it. If World War III were to break out, there would be rather dire consequences. Scientific progress across the world would slow in the name of increased military research and spending. Countless lives would be lost, and global politics would be turned on their head. Canada's invasion would likely be seen in a similar way to the assassination of Franz Ferdinand that sparked World War I, thrusting the world into a time of danger and sadness. However, as previously stated, this point is mostly moot, since it is highly unlikely that Canada would attempt or have any real success in war against the United States. And now we come to what is always a bit of a trump card in these discussions: nuclear weapons. If we're looking at a country with Canada's military strength taking on a country like America, they would possibly need to resort to nuclear bombs, something that few rational governments would allow. The use of nuclear weapons on the United States would be suicide for Canada, or perhaps kamikaze. The world would soon come crashing down if this was to occur, making it highly unlikely for this method to be used. Taking these factors into account, it does not seem like Canada would be victorious if they invaded the US. So let's talk about the more likely outcome. What if the invasion failed? If Canada was unable to overwhelm the superior American forces, combined with those of their allies, they would face some serious consequences. First, the losses would be significant. Human life would be lost in the failed attack and in any counterattacks from the US or allied countries. Furthermore, an unprovoked attack against such a close ally would be met with extremely severe sanctions, which would cripple Canada both economically and politically. The country would lose most, if not all, of its political clout after such a blunder. While it's possible that Canada could eventually rebuild and regain the trust of its former allies, it would be difficult to return to the happy position it currently enjoys. Not even Canada's experience in saying sorry could save it from these consequences. Now we return to our question: what if Canada invaded America? Well, unless there was some significant meddling from powerful governments intent on World War III, it would not look good for Canada. Or rather, it would look really bad for Canada. Not only is Canada outmanned and outgunned by their neighbors to the south, but an unprovoked attack would bring about severe consequences from the United Nations, and possibly the end of Canada as we know it. And a world without poutine is just not a world worth living in. Thank you for watching Life's Biggest Questions. I hope you found this interesting and informative. If you enjoyed this video, please thumbs up and subscribe to the channel down below. And while you're down there, let us know what you think would happen if the Canucks decided to invade their neighbors to the south. Until next time, I'm Ron Mackenzie Lafergie with Life's Biggest Questions, wishing you the best of luck on your quest for answers.